Welcome friends. Today we will discuss about a overview of Ruby and the different string methods that are used in Ruby programming language. So we will start with the contents for this session. So the contents for this session are origins and uses of Ruby. So and a brief introduction about Ruby. So what are the different scalar types and their operations? So and how to define a variable and how to assign a value to an variable. So and the different string methods. So the left side is a Ruby interface. So this is a command prompt. First we have to install this Ruby package. After that we can open this command prompt and we can check whether this Ruby is installed or not by using a Ruby minus v. So if the Ruby packages are installed in our system, so it will gets us the version of that Ruby programming language. So now we have version 2.6, so which is installed in my system. So once the Ruby package is installed, so we can run this Ruby commands here. So next we will go to the origins and uses of Ruby. So here, so Ruby is a scripting language and it is more powerful than Perl and more object oriented than Python programming language. So and Ruby is a interpreted object oriented and it is dynamically typed programming language, and this programming language has so different scripting facilities like manipulation of text files, and we can handle the files and execution of system tasks and support for regular expressions. So all these functionalities or facilities are supported by this Ruby programming language and which are required for developing the web application. So and Ruby was designed in Japan by Yukiro Matsumoto. So and is called as MATS, and this is released in 1996. So and after the development of this Rails, so Rails is a software framework for developing web applications. So this Ruby programming language got more importance. So after the growth of Rails. So and the data value in Ruby is an object. So whether it can be an integer literal or a complete file system. So everything in Ruby is object. So and Ruby is available for common computing platform. So furthermore, as in the case with PHP and Ruby implementation is free. So and Ruby has three categories of data types. So the data types in Ruby are divided into three categories: scalars, arrays, and hashes. So in this session, we will discuss about scalars and numeric and string literals. So when we take up this scalar types, so this scalar types in turn is having two categories. So that is numerics and character strings. So as stated earlier, so everything in Ruby is an object oriented concepts. So and here Ruby is an object, numeric literals, arrays, and even classes. Everything is objects. So and when we look at this numeric literals, so in numeric data types, again we have two subclasses, that is a float and integer. So again, integer has two child classes, fixed num and big num. So integer literal, so that is having the range up to 32 bits are considered as fixed num object. So and if the integer literal range exceeds more than 32 bits, it is called as big num object. So and whenever we are defining number in Ruby programming language, underscore is allowed. Say for example, so to work with the Ruby commands, first we have to type this IRB, so that is interactive Ruby. So and just press enter. So we will get this Ruby prompt. Once we get the Ruby prompt, we can execute the Ruby statement. So this is the interactive Ruby prompt. So now say for example, I assign so 124, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it returns the value 1, 2, 3, 4. So and suppose if I assign so 12 underscore 34. So even it is considered as a number. So but in other programming languages, it will consider as a string because some special symbol is used. So but here in Ruby programming language, so the underscore is allowed for the numbers. So it helps in easy reading of the numbers. So next, we will take up one simple example. So this example demonstrates how to uh, calculate some arithmetic operations. So here we defined three variables. So distance, time, and speed. So now, so just to come out of this Ruby prompt, just press Ctrl D. So now my program is stored in G drive. So we can go to any folder wherever we want. We can create one folder and we can create some files with .rb extension. So the Ruby files is having RB extension. So now I've stored this program in uh, G drive. So just go to G drive. So and here Ruby. So now this is Ruby 1. So this is a program where it is stored in a G drive and Ruby folder. So I am declaring one variable, distance equals 0.1 and time equals 9.87 divided by 360, and then calculating the speed by using distance by time and then printing the speed value. So this program can be executed in command prompt. So first we have to come to the root directory. CD slash indicates root directory. After that, we have to go to G directory. So G colon will takes us to the G directory. So again, we can use this change directory command to go to this Ruby folder. So and to execute the Ruby programs, we have to use a Ruby keyword followed by file name. So my file name is ruby1.rb. So as I said earlier, this file contains this program. So and the extension for Ruby files is .rb. So just press enter. So it will give us the value, calculated value. So the average speed of a printer is some value, that is 36 point some digits. So this is regarding how to execute this Ruby program. So now we go to string literals. So as we know, string is a sequence of characters. So and this strings in this Ruby programming language, we have two categories of string literals. One is a single quoted and double quoted string literals. So in when we use this single quoted string literals, so that means we cannot evaluate these escape sequence characters and variable values cannot be evaluated inside single quote, but in double quoted string, so if we can print an values of an variable and we can also execute this escape sequence characters facilities. So this is string literals, two categories, single and double quoted string literals. So with an example, we will take up the example. So here just I use this puts statement. So puts is an output statement. So just come out of this uh, command prompt. So cd slash. So and then go to a Ruby interactive Ruby IRB. So it will get us the prompt. So now I use this statement puts. So first I use the single quote. 2 multiply 3 is 6. So I am using escape sequence character /n. So and the value is, so for printing a variable values or expression values, we use hash followed by angular brackets 2 star 3. So now close the single quote. So now you can observe. So as it is printed as it is, without without evaluating this escape sequence characters and this value. So now if we use the double quotes, so we can evaluate the expressions and also the escape sequence characters. Now /n is executed, so the output went to the next line. So and 2 star 3 is 6. So and one more option in Ruby programming languages, for single quotes we can use small q, and for double quotes we can use capital Q. So now just instead of using this quotes, so I can use this facility. So that is %q stands for single quote. So and parenthesis, just use the parenthesis and close the parenthesis. So now the functionality is same as single quote. So now we can use the double quotes. So by using capital Q. So if you use capital Q, so this string will be under double quotes. So then it evaluates escape sequence characters and the expression value. So now it same as this double quotes. So this is about string literals. So next we have variables as we discussed earlier. So here we can declare a variable, so without using any data types. So there is no declaration in Ruby programming language. So just as in when we want, we can use the variables. So now a equals 23. So no need of declaring variables and no need to mention the types of variable, which this variable belongs to which type. So based on the value it considers. So just as simple as this. So we can use a is equal to 23. So it returns the value 23. So later I can print the value of a. So just by using this a equals 23. So this is regarding this variables. So and we can display the variable values inside this put statement by using this syntax hash followed by angular brackets. So now we will move on to a string methods. So there are around some 75 string methods in this Ruby programming language. So we will cover the important types of string methods. So for concatenating the strings, we use this plus operator. So here I can use so happy. So one string plus, so one empty string plus happy days. So execute this, it returns happy days. So the strings are concatenated. So we can concatenate the strings by using plus operator. So and one more, when we want to attach a string at the end of the variable, we can use this a left shift operator. So that is, so here I can declare a as gday. So and then I can attach using left shift operator gday mate. So now this mate will be concatenated at the end of a. So now the value of a is gday and mate is attached to this variable value by using this left shift operator. So next we will take up one more example. So suppose if one string, let's take A is wow, and uh, B, I assign B, I assign A to B. So now A and B are mapping to the same location wow. So now if I try to print B, so we will get the value wow. That means that A and B are mapping to the same memory location wow. So this is how we can assign a variable to another variable. So and we have one more example. So now say for example, so now I change the value of A. So I change the value of A to what? So I'm changing the value of A. So now if I try to print B, still I'm getting wow, because so this wow is because it is mapping to the old location of wow. So this is regarding this assigning the values. So now we can use this replace method. We can use the replace method to change the value of an variable in the same location. So now let's take a dot replace of, so I take the value gully, so close it. So now if I try to print B, so it is still printing wow. So now what I do is B equals A. So now if I try to print B, it is gully, and if I try to print A, it is gully. So that means, so whenever we assign more than one value to an variable, it stores in a different location. So first value will be stored in one location and second value will be stored in second location. So if we want to make change in the same location, we can use this replace method to change it in the same location instead of using the other location. So that is one replace method. So and we have some built-in string methods like capitalize, chop, chomp, upcase, downcase, strip, L strip, and R strip. So now I take up one string variable. So let's take str equals Cambridge. So just use. So now I can apply this capitalize method. So str dot, so CAPI TALIZE, capitalize. So when we apply this capitalize method, only the first character will be converted to an uppercase. So and similar way, when we apply str dot chop, so it will remove the last character in the string. So removes the last character in the string. So now if I apply this upcase, so all the string characters will be converted to uppercase. So and if there is any spaces, so we can remove that by using string. So again, I can apply this down case. So str dot down case, DOWN CASE down case. So all the values will be converted to a small letter. All the values will be converted to small letters. So these are some of the built-in functions. So now I can take one more variable str2 equals hello. So and we have one more method called reverse. So we can apply a reverse method. So the characters in this string will be reversed. So str1 equals frank. So now we can apply this upcase str1 dot upcase. So it will convert all the characters to a capital letters, but it will not affect the original string. So the original string is still in the small letters. So that means it will not change in the same location. It will take a different object location. So now if I want to make a changes in the same location, so for that I use exclamatory mark. So this exclamatory mark will use, so the string is str1, will make a changes in the original place. So if I try to print this str1, so it will gives you the changed value. So this is about mutator or bang methods. So what exactly happens is whenever we apply a string methods, it will not change in the same location where the string is stored. It takes a different location. So to make a changes in the original location, so we use exclamatory mark, so that we call it as mutator methods. So next we can extract the characters from the string. So here suppose I declared one string, and if I want to get the ASCII value of the first character, so I can just tell str of 1 will get me the ASCII value of this S. So, and one more way we can extract the characters from 2 to 4. So as I said, string, when we declare a string, the index values will be stored starting from 0 to n minus 1. So we can change the values, or we can extract the values from 2 to 4, and we can change the values. So here while changing, so from third location, change next 3 to ni. So now Donald will become Donny. So that is how we can change the characters from third location. So change next 3 characters to ni. So this is how we can apply this methods. So and for string comparisons, we have equal and equal question mark, 2 methods. So now if I say snowstorm, so use a string SNO snow storm equals snowstorm. So now we are comparing the strings. So here, yeah, it is not an assignment. So it should be double equals for comparison. So now it is false. So because somewhere mistake, yeah. So if the characters are different, it will returns the false. If both are same, I make correct STO or F. So if both the values are, both the characters are correct, it returns true. So this is double equals to can be used for comparing the strings. If all the characters are equal, it returns true. If the characters are different, it returns false. So we have one more method called equal. Say, so now I apply this equal method dot equal question mark, and here I have to use a parenthesis, and then enter. So now even though the characters are straight same, we are getting false. That means if both the strings are referring to the same object, it returns the false, and if both the strings are referring to different objects, then it returns false. So now these two are not referring to the same objects. Now say for example A is equal to ABC, and then I assign A to B. So now I will check A dot EQUAL question mark of B. So now it returns true because both the variables are referring to the same location ABC. So this is about this string comparison. So and we have one more called EQL question mark. So for example now we have 7 equals 7.0 because both the values are same, so it returns true. In case if we apply this equal, so EQL question mark parenthesis 7.0, so it returns false because both are of different data types. So now if we use the same data type, it returns true. So just remove the 0. Let's make both the values as integers. So now it returns true. So if the objects are of different types, it returns false. So this is about equal method. So next we have one more spaceship operator. So here spaceship operator for comparing the strings. So it returns a -1 if second operand is greater than first operand, and it returns a 0 if both the operands are equal, and it returns 1 if the first operand is greater than the second operand. So now let's take one string apple, so apple, and apply this spaceship operator. So and then prune. So now if we use this -1 because a second operand is greater than first operand. So here greater in this case means the text in question belongs later alphabetically. So P is greater than A. So that is what this spaceship operator considers. So now just take, so this as grape and this as grape. So now both the strings are equal, so it returns 0. So we will make the first character, so apple. So now first operand is greater than second operand, so it will return -1. So the character, first character, it will check alphabetically. So and it decides which is greater and which is lesser. So and if we want to print the one string value more than one times, we can use this asterisk as a repetition operator. Say for example, I want to print more 3 times. So I can use this repetition operator. So that is asterisk. So it will print more 3 times. So these are the different string methods. So thank you for watching this video.